Oh, waiting notification. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning into a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have a magnificent guest with us today, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than the entrepreneur and business-minded businesswoman herself, Nadiyah Spencer. How are you doing, ma'am?
I am fine this evening, Brother Joshua. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Okay, so the first question that we want to know is, how did you get into doing a diaper company? Like, how did that come about?
Well, that's jumping in a little further along, but I kind of want to circle back a little bit to kind of show this walk a little bit.
Okay.
I've been in manufacturing for about 25 years. So from the time I graduated from Spelman College in good old Atlanta, Georgia, I got into a program, a Gap training program in San Francisco, their headquarters. And that kind of brought me into this world of manufacturing. So I was one of the few trainees in that organization that really fell in love with the making of product and things. So that is the genesis of my walk in product management. I was in fashion for about 25 years. Then I went into fragrance, and then launched my own consultancy called Bradshaw Consulting Group, where I was helping people that look like myself produce goods, be it clothes, be it fragrance, be it candles, things of that nature. In full transparency, Tinky Boo was serendipitous. That's my diaper line. And I was fortunate and able to do it because of my background. But it really was not something that I set out to do. It came to me in a dream, August 20th, 2020. I know for a fact that it was post the George Floyd murder, and it was weighing heavy on my heart. So I just woke up randomly at 3 a.m. and had this image of Black babies on diapers. I had never seen it. Did it exist? I just started frantically looking online. I emailed a graphic designer, a brother I worked very closely with, and also realized there wasn't a Black woman who owned a disposable diaper brand. We own cloth diapers, which are great and are very lovely. But the essential of disposable diapers that make things a bit quicker and efficient and easier for parents on the go, caregivers on the go, we weren't in that space. And in 2020, I found it hard to believe that we weren't in that space in a major way. Like I said, given my career and my background, it was easy for me with the relationships I built over the years within the manufacturing sector to start this journey. But I will say, after being told no by quite a few factories, I finally got a few yeses and was able to bring Tinky Poo to life. Resilience, being tenacious and not taking no for an answer has always been the way I operated. So that is the start of it.
Excellent. Yes, ma'am. And my sister Miriam says, peace. Please, baby. Thank y'all for watching. And we can't wait to put this on YouTube. People showing you love all across the country already. Where can we purchase Tinky Poo?
Tinky Poo is online at tinkypoo.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. You can shop. Those are shoppable. On my Tinky Poo, I think I have a pack here to show everyone. This is a pack of my Tinky Poo diapers. This is Timmy, named after my father, brother to Timothy 2X, who's no longer with us. He passed away in 2021. This is Penny, one of the characters in the diapers, and it was really important for me to showcase children of color on a diaper. Didn't exist. Penny's also darker than my brother Timothy here. It's intentional to let my dark-skinned sisters know from the moment they exit the womb how beautiful and how gorgeous they are. So everything about Tinky Poo was about intentionality. I don't know if anyone can see this, but even this is a diaper with my orange background. It says "Be the Power," because that's what our children need to be. They have to be. They have the Pan-African flag, and they have their fist in the air and their berets on. I used to live in Kenya, so this is my tribal print. It's a Black-based diaper with like a kente pattern. Then I have one with the babies in space because sky is no longer the limit for our children. And then I have, oh gosh, I don't have my other one here. I thought I had it. There's a really soft blue one that I'll show later. that showcases the babies. And then I have some wipes, plant-based water wipes, 99% water, and they have chamomile extract because our children are sometimes prone to eczema. So I wanted something that was soothing and healing. So everything about Tinky Poo was conscious. It was about representation. My tagline is seeing yourself makes all the difference. And it was important in the diaper industry that didn't showcase us. You see us on boxes of diapers. Yeah, you see that lately. But do you really see us on the actual diaper? And that just didn't exist. In printed diapers, I didn't invent that, not at all. However, showcasing our children was important. I wanted, like I said, from the time they exit the womb to see themselves in a really thoughtful and beautiful way. And my prints are culturally relevant. They're thoughtfully made. My products are eco-friendly. I'm using pulp that is cultivated from organic trees. I'm using the sap that is sustainably made. Even my liners are 100% inner liner or cotton. So it was important that I made something that not because I'm Black, you should buy it. That's not the case. You should buy it because it's well made. You should buy it because it's quality. And I've been in manufacturing for 25 years. So I wasn't going to put something out that I wouldn't put my child in, my cousins, their children in. We have a stigma sometimes that when it's Black owned, there's a misconception that it should be cheaper or it should be this or we should have that. But no, I made a product that is made where your Huggies and Pampers can be found, your Honest can be found, and Tinky Poo is right there amongst them. So you should support, yes, because I'm a Black woman, but more importantly, because it's a quality product that is speaking to a demographic that is not being spoken to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Excellent job. And my sister said she loves the design, and everybody's putting the website in the chat, and we can't wait to put this on YouTube as well. Okay, what advice would you give to other entrepreneurs and business people about persevering and seeing their dreams come true?
Have a decent plan, have some investment behind you, because sometimes things happen, incidents happen. Case in point, I had this idea, yes, the pandemic has started, but I had no idea how costly freight would be. I knew freight, I amortized freight in because my goods are made overseas and brought them in, but because of the pandemic, it was almost triple the amount it would have been in 2019 or 2018 had I had this vision. So, but I had allotted for it in what we had budgeted and what we had invested into our company. So always have a plan A and B and C and D. Know who your customer is. Have an idea of, I did focus groups. I had, I did samples beforehand. Diapers, people don't allow you to do samples. That was something I learned on the fly. And let me rewind. In the fashion business, when you see a fashion show is only done so the customer can see what's coming on the runway, and then the buyers can decide whether they want that in the store or not. Correct? That's why the fashion shows exist. So I come from that background. So it was important for me to get samples of my diapers before I made a huge bulk order, so I can test it amongst babies and moms and dads and grandmas and aunties to make sure that I was onto something. Were they leak proof? Were they rash proof? How did they fit? All those things were important to me. So before you dive right into something, I would implore everyone to at least try to get samples made and get focus groups, not to let anyone deter you from your idea, but to make sure your idea has some kind of validity and some legs, because you don't want to sit on inventory of something that can't move.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, great. And people are showing you love all across the country. My next question is, you said that representation matters, and of course, in all fields, but why specifically the diapers? Like, why is that important to us as a people?
I mean, it's essential. It's an essential. It's not something that we can't live without. You need something to hold your baby's waist. And I wanted to have something that was an essential. The pandemic showed us what we did and did not need. And one thing that parents still needed, caregivers still needed, was diapers. You might not needed a new car, you might not have needed, luxury lipstick or perfume, all those things that, I also make. But the reality was I wanted something that could be recession proof and something that parents needed. And again, like I said, we weren't represented in that industry, in that field. I recently won what you would call an Emmy for parents. And it's parents.com, Parents Magazine. And it said best baby diaper with a mission. And why that one is because it's the first time, one, a Black woman started a diaper company. There's others now, but two, there was a mission behind it. I'm showing our children themselves on the diapers. There is no ambiguity. You know who I'm talking to, and you know why I'm talking to them. Our world is not always so kind to our kids. So, and it's time that there's another company called Little Muffin Cakes that I'm a big fan of. A Black woman has crib sheets and receiving blankets that have Black children on it. And we're seeing that representation in the baby industry. Parents respond to it, especially parents of Black and brown children, because it didn't exist before. And I think I wanted to disrupt an industry that just hasn't been disrupted. And that's what I'm doing.
Okay, well, we definitely support you in all of your efforts. We have a few more, my sister Miriam says congratulations. We have a few more questions for you, but we have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. Thank you all for every like, share, subscription, and anonymous cash apps from all across the country. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. We're coming right back to our
camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of those services. Sister Miriam's ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, and now Spanish book. All three available on Amazon.com. Sister Naima's Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studios of Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Kenneth's Bow Tie Maker Extraordinaire. He'll ship you bow ties anywhere across the nation. Dr. Henry Carter's King Henry Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad's COVID-19 Disinfected Cleaning Services, out of Chicago. Student Minister Sharif Muhammad's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, available on adulsharif.com. And lastly, Brother Joshua Muhammad's book, Cleopatra, as well as No Father, No Excuse, both available on Amazon.
Thank you all. Perfect. Thank you all very much. We're right back to our sister Nadiyah. We're getting some free business lessons and courses right here. It's some serious inspiration. Okay. What are some of the trials that entrepreneurs may face that you can help us overcome?
Like I said earlier, not having a well thought out plan and knowing how proof of concept. My current life also, I have Bradshaw Consulting Group where I help people in various industries and with different product categories, from fashion to fragrance, produce those things. And I think sometimes where people sometimes fall short is the marketing plan. And with this new world of digital marketing, it's not as easy as we think. You know, you put it on Instagram, you put it on Facebook, it's going to be overnight success. These Google Analytics and these ads are nothing to mess with, you know, and they're making it difficult. You know, years ago, you could put a brand out in word of mouth and maybe on a bus or maybe here, but brands to me could flourish a little bit easier before social media. Now you kind of have to get in where you fit in. So I think having the right digital footprint and team to help move your product, and distribution, how are you housing your goods and distributing your goods? Because if you don't have a place, with Tinky Poo, it was important for me to have a warehouse that distributed my goods, because I know that's not me. I wouldn't be the one to ship out and manage the tracking number and sending that and doing that. I can't. So it was important also within my investment in budget was to allot for distribution. So it's seamless and it's easy. An order comes through and it's out. So just think about not only your idea, but how you're getting out there, how are you getting out to the people, to the masses, and how smooth and efficient do you want that to be? And I think the quicker, no one can be Amazon. I don't want you to be Amazon. Amazon is Amazon. And unfortunately, people expect things tomorrow. You can't do that. Don't put that pressure on yourself, but do find a way to get your goods to your customer in a timely manner that makes sense for you. Pricing that out, whether it's working with FedEx to get you the best rates, you can always call and focus on dedicated territory. Same with UPS. One thing I do want to tell entrepreneurs, I worked with DHL, UPS, FedEx, all those with Tinky Poo and USPS to see who would give me the best rates in order to ship out my goods to my customer. Do that homework, do that exercise, weigh your goods, know the different regions you're sending it to. That's really important to figure out what is that bottom line. Either you're going to eat that shipping cost or you're going to pass it on to your customer. Whoever is paying, it should be as low as humanly possible.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, great. And thank you everybody who was showing, love to Nadiyah. For you, I'm assuming there's a brand, like a marketing to a lot of the women. What about the men? How should we feel about, supporting this company? Like all the fathers out there, the uncle, I'm an uncle, I got nieces and nephews. What do you say to the men?
It's genderless, right? So like Tinky Poo has men, my boy and my girl on their diapers, but a caregiver is a caregiver. Whether it's your child, or not, whether you're your dad, the uncle. If a baby's in your life, you buy diapers. It was intentional for me with Tinky Poo to have my reels showcasing Black men, and there's all kinds of Black fathers shown on Tinky Poo Instagram. I partner with Black male-oriented businesses, like one out of my hometown of Plainfield, New Jersey. There's an amazing company called Wash Dads, and Wash Dads is an acronym for We Are Superheroes Every Day. And then I did a giveaway with them, so they gave the sweatshirts and the hat, and I gave the diapers because there's a narrative that there's no, the Black father's not in the home. There's some who aren't, let's be real, but there's a lot who are. And there's a lot of present fathers, and you don't have to be with the mother to be present, So I think Tinky Poo speaks to parents or people who love children, period.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. What is your favorite album of all time, man?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I would say A Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
What was that? Electric Relaxation. I'm a big fan of Janet Jackson, her Rhythm Nation.
Okay.
I remember my mother standing outside of Madison Square Garden overnight to get me tickets to that concert when I was like 10 or 12 years old. So that's a big memory. I'm gonna have to go with Janet. Janet has always been my favorite. I'm aging myself here, but like I wanted to be Janet when I was little. So I would say Rhythm Nation, hands down.
You can't get wrong with Janet Jackson. My sister Miriam just went to the Janet Jackson concert here in Atlanta at the Allstate Allstate. I don't know where it. Maybe where the Hawks play, but she just went to the Janet Jackson concert, so she's still on tour, still killing it. Her and Ludacris or whatever.
I love Jamiroquai as well, Space Cowboy. Jamiroquai, he's a British performer, singer that I love. So I have some things I listen to. Yeah, I might not have a lot of popular music, but I love some Beyonce. I ain't gonna front, but I would still go with Janet. Mm-hmm.
Still go with Janet. You can't go wrong with her. Okay, what was life like living abroad? You said you lived in Kenya. What was that like?
Beautiful, beautiful. I was working with a brand called Eden, which is about bringing employment and sustainability to sub-Saharan Africa. So I was making clothes there, and I was making clothes out of Madagascar, Mauritius, Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania. And I remember going to Kenya one day, and I was sitting in a car with a woman from Zimbabwe and a woman from Kenya, and I just started crying, like literally burst out in tears. And the sister from Kenya was like, "Why are you crying? What's going on?" And the sister from Zimbabwe just picked it up immediately. She's like, she feels like she's at home. And that's exactly what it was. It felt like I was at home, and I felt like I was amongst my people. Even though I traveled other places, for some reason, Kenya just really, really struck a chord. So I was working there, making clothes. I built a workshop that's still in existence to today, where we were training different Kenyan folks from Nairobi and Nakuru how to sew and make garments that can be sold in the European and American markets. So I was bringing in pattern makers. I was bringing in tech designers from the US to kind of train them on how to sew on georgette, silk, and lightweight cottons. Because if you can sew on certain materials, particularly a georgette silk that moves a lot, you can sew anything. Because believe it or not, a lot of my brothers and sisters in Kenya were learning how to sew on paper bags and rice bags. They weren't sewing on because there wasn't a plethora of material for them to use. The material was a commodity, so you only wanted to use that to be able to, you know, sell into the marketplace. I was having fabric donated to be able to train. So therefore I can get a workforce to help sell clothes, because it was important for me to kind of give back internationally as well.
Phenomenal. All right. And my sister's name says peace, family, peace. And thank you everyone who's watching. Continue to like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast. Well, I want to thank you very much, Nadiyah. Once again, how can we support Tinky Poo? Where can we get them? Everybody's, all I see is children everywhere I go. My nieces, nephews. We just went to the zoo the other day. I saw babies and strollers and everything. All these babies
just
need diapers.
tinkypoo.com. Tinkypoo.com. It is, yes, I'm a Black woman. And if that's what makes you want to buy, please do. But know that it was made in facilities that your other brands that you guys have at your Target and your Walmart and all places in between sell. So it was important for me to make a great product. One thing I will say that I'm learning is my size ones, my newborns don't have the elastic that my 2, 3s, and 4s have. So they're a little bit bigger on babies. And that was intentional in my mind because I wanted the babies to be in size 1 longer. But if you really want the elastication, if your baby's on this, you know, in between 1 or 2, I would suggest going with a size 2. That's just my quote out there. But tinkypoo.com, we are doing well online. I'm talking to quite a few retailers to figure out what are the best fits for me. But right now, I'm comfortable with selling the way I'm selling, because to whom much is given, much is required. And when you go into those stores, you kind of beholden to a lot of their rules. And I want to hold Tinky Poo close to the chest first and kind of keep it for myself and the people before I'm on those shelves. But that's coming soon. But right now, tinkypoo.com.
Excellent. Brother Nelson Ramos, our brother from Massachusetts, saying, yes, sir. Alaikum salam, beautiful people. He's showing you love as well. Thank you, everybody who's watching. And we can't wait to put this on YouTube. Well, I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast. We wishing you nothing but success, sending you nothing but positive energy. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Have a great rest of your day, man.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you.